One of the biggest benefits of intermittent fasting is that when I finally break that fast, my sense of taste is greatly enhanced. There's a little bit of a problem though. The enhanced sense of taste doesn't last a long time. It usually lasts 5-10 minutes, and then your sense of taste goes back to normal. Now the problem is that by fasting once every 24 hours, I might get that really intense meal, but I only get it once every 24 hours, right? My favorite analogy to describe this is to imagine there's a really exciting ride at the theme park and the lines are just crazy, right? It's like Black Friday. You got to wait for that roller coaster the night before the park even opens, right? Imagine the park is in Seattle and you're lined up outside of it, and it's so exciting that people are lined up all the way to Redmond, and you got to wait 24 hours to ride it. You get on the ride and it's over in 5 minutes, right? That's how I like to view the really delicious meal at the end of intermittent fasting. Well, I happen to teach calculus, and it inspired me to think about this problem. What is the optimum time interval to wait between meals to maximize your overall happiness? I'll let you pause this video to brainstorm some ideas. Go ahead and brainstorm the ideas, and then I'll discuss it. Now here's my approach to it. Suppose that T is the time interval that you choose between meals, right? For me, right now, it's about 24 hours. And H of T is how happy you are when you actually do consume the meal, right? So the longer you wait, generally the more happy you get, right? Yesterday, I ate a meal after 61 hours, and I was on top of the world when I was eating. I even recorded myself at the beginning of that meal, right? There's another variable you're going to need, and I'll explain why in a second. Let L of T be your life expectancy based on the time interval in between meals, right? If you're eating constantly, T is equal to 0, your life expectancy is probably going to be pretty short, right? You're a binge eater at that point, right? For me, T is roughly 24 hours. Now, why do we need these two functions? Because now we can calculate the overall happiness from food you're going to get in your lifetime, right? In your lifetime, you're going to eat however long your life is, just divided by how long you want to wait in between meals, times how much happiness you're going to get out of each meal, right? Now, before I go on to solve for T, why don't we take a look at what these two functions might look like, an approximation of those two. So I plotted out L of T over here, my best approximation of L of T. I would imagine a person who eats nonstop, compulsively, they're lucky to make it to 60, right? Most people eat on average once every 8 hours, and they live to be 78, right? So I kind of connected the dots there, and I'm going to guess it maxes out at 24. After 24, your risk of accidents really go up. My own experience. You might be different. You might be healthier at this point, but your risk of accidents really go up, right? Just my own experience. Now, I'll let you think about what L of T looks like, but that's my best guess. H of T is a whole nother story. It probably always increases, because the longer you wait, the more delicious that meal at the end is, right? But obviously, there's diminishing returns. If you eat constantly, you're miserable all the time, right? So it even goes negative, I would imagine. Our goal is to maximize. Choose T that maximizes that function. How do we do that? Let me take the derivative of H with respect to T. We got a quotient rule, right? The derivative of F over G is F prime G plus F G prime. The derivative of T with respect to T is 1, right? Divided by G squared. And then we got a product rule, right? The derivative of F times G, F prime G plus F G prime. No surprise there, right? And so in order for that function to be maximized, it's got to hit a peak somewhere. And so you want that derivative to be 0, right? So you're looking, let's try to plot out big H of T. Big H of T and T. Now when T is really big, right, take the extreme case, right? T is like a month or two, your life expectancy is 0, right? When t is 0, your happiness is a negative number per meal, and then you're multiplying that by the short life you have. It's somewhere in the negative, right? When t is 8, you got the average person. You got 78 years of moderately happy meals, and so you're up here. When t is 24, not only are you living longer, but every meal is much more delicious, and you're up here. And you are looking for this point, the top of that roller coaster, right? Where you're looking straight ahead, just about to fall. And so the derivative, the tangent line, is a flat line. So you got L prime TH plus LH plus LH prime T equals 0. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to read this out in English, right? L prime, what does that mean? That means, given my current state, for every additional marginal minute that I want to fast, delay every meal, how much longer do I live, right? That's what L prime stands for, right? The derivative of life with respect to time. H prime means, if I wait an extra minute, how much more delicious is my meal going to be, right? My best approximation, T, I'm going to say is roughly 24 hours. Happiness, I would say roughly 4 times the average person's meal. The reason I chose 4 is because most people eat 3 times a day. I prefer that one delicious meal. So I'm going to guesstimate that my happiness from that one meal every 24 hours is roughly 4 times the average happiness of the American meal. L, 110. And L prime, if I fast an extra hour, I'll probably, I'm not sure. The problem is that the reason 24 works so well is because I have to work on a 24-hour schedule, right? If I were eating every 25 hours, I think the main reason these things might go down has nothing to do with my taste buds or my health, but with social connectivity with the world, right? And so actually, this chart might even be a little bit funky, right? It might have peaks for 8, 12, 24, just because of social issues, right? It's very easy for social reasons to eat every 8, 12, or 24 hours. It's not so easy to eat every 9 hours, right? Similarly for this as well, right? Anyways, some food for thought.